Your dad, who I know quite well, had obviously a vision for certain things. And one of his visions was but pretty much docking everything and recording a big chunk of your childhood, along with your sister. And that obviously came to that, which is an active documentary on most of the social platforms and most of the active platforms right now. And it's something I actually watched quite a few years ago with my kids. When he was recording all this, did you have an understanding? Were you guys aware that it was going to be put into documentary, or like what was your dad telling you when all this is being recorded as a young man?
He was more so whenever he was behind the camera filming, like Sky and I go through medication and things, he'd always say that what we're doing now is going to help others that we don't know about. And I don't know, YouTube was such like a small thing when I was growing up, but
Oh,
like everybody was still on it. So we were still like, what does this mean? Help others that we don't what? And I think 2 years into him filming, he sat Sky and I down and opened up his computer and they were showing there was like a I think this was in Thailand, but there was like a kidney festival for like nephrotic syndrome to like teach parents, and they had our video, and they like dubbed over it, and it was everything clicked in Sky, and I were like, oh my goodness, so this is why he's been like we're helping others. Like it was like a light bulb moment. But yeah, whenever he was behind the camera, his whole motto was, "What we're doing, we're helping others by because no one's showing the side of the battle."
when I look at you and I see the similarities of my son, when you now at your age, becoming a young adult, and you can sit back and look at the impact your parents had and the care and the love, because without that impact, that care, that love that some kids don't get enough of, you probably wouldn't be where you are today. How does that impact you? Like, how does that make you feel? Where's your mind with that? Let's dive deep into this.
It's emotional. I wouldn't be who I am or where I am without the support of my family, especially, heavy emphasis on my dad and sister. Um, Watching the documentary, a lot of things, like when I watched the final edit, there's this final, I mean, I guess I'm going to spoil it for some of your viewers, but like the final scene, Sky is interviewing me, and we're like 6, and then it cuts to Sky interviewing me, and
Yeah.
it's like present day. And I had a moment where I was like, whoa, we've been doing this this is insane. We've all gone through this roller coaster together. And with that being said, I was also like, wow, like my dad was really behind the camera for those 20 years, and
And it's not even 20 years, all the medical visits, all the hospital visits,
all that.
all the scares as a parent. I don't think children really truly understand. And maybe when they become young adults like yourself, you really do understand it. Because I look at my son now and I don't think he gets the impact of the scary moments every time he's got to do a test, every time he's got to go to the hospital. It's as a parent, it's more impactful on you because any loving parent would rather have it happen to them than their kids. And I'm sure your dad and your mom, every time you had a medical emergency or a flare up or you had to be rushed to the hospital, it's that scare, that impact of like that helplessness. And have they ever talked to you about that?
A little bit. My dad always made it a point growing up to make sure that I know that this isn't just happening to me, but rather it's affecting everyone. My hospital stays, I'd see him and my mom duke out for like who's going to spend the night with me, like who's going to sleep on the one not comfortable chair, and my sister like taking time off school to spend the day with me in the hospital. And throughout the years, they'd always be like, "Oh, you're so strong, Tyler." Like it's very admirable, and I'd always respond saying like, "I truly get it from my parents, from my sister, my dad, from everyone working so hard to make sure that I stay on top of this. I can't give up because they're lifting me up so much. I only owe that much to them." And even now, being a young adult and being so far from home, I still get people that stop me that are, oh my God, you're the young Tyler kid. Oh my, I watched you and Ronda Rousey. Like, you're such a warrior. And I think about how my dad sort of built this empire, or not empire, but he built like this
Yeah.
community. It's still having effect on people to this day. And like many people like give me all the praise, and I really wouldn't be anywhere I am today without him and all the kind words. I know it gets me emotional when I think about just how deep of a deep of a effect it all has, but it's such a big rabbit hole, and